Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the performance over the last several weeks and making some speculations on what could come over the next couple of months. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember, we do have the sale on the premium list. You can find a link to that in the description below as well. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, where are we? What has Bitcoin done? Where is it? Well, we just rallied from 29K up to a very modest 47, 48K. Now the question is, what's going to happen? What needs to happen for us to get to 100K, right? Everyone wants to go to 100K Bitcoin. What needs to happen? Well, one of the things we can look at is what has happened before around this time of the year, right? What's happened before? Well, in August can actually be a fairly decent month for Bitcoin, okay? But what's more interesting to me is September. Why? Because every September, for the last 4 years, Bitcoin has tested the 20-week moving average. Now, will it test it this year? I don't know. I mean, you know, it's not like we can take it to the bank that every year it's going to test the 20-week in September. But I'm just saying, let's go take a look. Okay, we're just going to take a look. There's no harm in looking. September of 2020, we tested the 20-week. We held it as support. We never looked back, right? We never looked back after that. Over here, September of 2019, we didn't hold it as support. We kicked the can down the road. Nothing wrong with kicking the can down the road, my friends. Okay, so held it as support. Blast off. Didn't hold it as support, kicked the can down the road. Let's keep going back. What happened in September before that? Well, the September before that, we tested it, but from below it, right? We didn't actually make it above it, but you could still say this was a test to see if we could get above it, and it failed. We went right up to the 20-week, rejected back down. So far, and maybe it's 5 years. So far, the last 3 years, we have actually been at the 20-week SMA at some point during September. Let's keep going further back. How far back does this trend go? Let's find out together, right? September of 2017, a wick right down to the 20-week moving average, right down to the 20-week. Should we go back even further? Let's go back even further. And let's go look at September of 2016. Where do you think we were? At the 20-week, okay? What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is for the last 5 years, Bitcoin has tested the 20-week SMA. Now, 4 of those years, we were above it, and we came down to test it as support. And out of the 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, out of the 4 times that Bitcoin came down to test the 20-week as support, it held it as support 3 out of 4. Check, 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 failure. Okay, 3 to 4 times. It's a pretty good batting average. And then this one, we couldn't even get above it, so you know that was sort of a different type of test. It wasn't coming back down to it to test it as support. It was going up to it and then just getting rejected, and then we just went down for a while, and we entered, you know, the depths of the bear market. So what does that mean? Well, what it could mean is that maybe Bitcoin continues to shine for a little bit. We're in August, we're not in September yet, but what I would like to see, and what I think could happen in September, is a test of the 20-week. And this test of the 20-week, if we get it, will instrumentally determine the level of bullishness that Bitcoin will have, you know, for the next several months following. Okay, you know, October, November, December, maybe January, February, March, April, you know, same thing last year. So it will be instrumental in determining, are we going to get bullish now, or do we kick the can down the road a few months? Okay. So we got to keep a really close eye on it. Now, where is the 20-week right now? Well, right now, the 20-week is coming in at a very modest $43,000. 43.4K. Okay? We're not even that far above it. Not even close to it. I mean, we're $4,000 away, but we're, like 8 or 9% above the 20-week SMA. So what's a possible path? What is a possible path for Bitcoin at this point? What's the 20-week SMA doing? That's where you gotta look. Well, let's go look. Where is the 20-week SMA gonna go at the end of the week? It's gonna go down. It's actually gonna go down. The only way that it doesn't go down is if Bitcoin rallies to 56K by tomorrow. So if you're super bullish and you think Bitcoin's gonna be 56K by tomorrow, then maybe the 20-week levels off here. But if it's below 56K, then we're gonna continue to see the 20-week drop. It's not gonna drop as much as it used to, but it's probably gonna be closer to 43K, maybe 42K, maybe 42K, maybe 42.8K, 42.9K. I mean, it'll depend on exactly what the closing price is of Bitcoin on the weekly close. So what could that look like? Well, this is starting to, it's starting to level off a little bit, but it still is technically going down. So let's imagine it does something like this, and it's right around 42K, and then it starts to curve back up. This would certainly be one possibility. And what if Bitcoin continues to push up for a little bit? Maybe it goes to 53K or something. And then everyone's like, all right, it's time to break these, right? Putting in new all-time highs. Is it possible we put in new all-time highs without testing the 20-week? Of course, we've done it many times. Well, we've done it before where maybe not immediate new all-time highs, but we've pushed above the 20-week without testing it as support many times. Here's a great example of 2019, but also note that when we got back to the 20-week, it was not held as support. So we'd like to hold it as support sooner rather than later. So we go look, say, well, what if the 20-week does something like that? If it sort of like starts to curve back up, and everyone's shouting, all right, we're about to go to the moon. What if in September we get that September dip that seems to come every single year, right? Every September without fail almost. It's almost as predictable as February for Ethereum, right? It's like every January, Ethereum goes crazy against Bitcoin and puts in new local tops. In September, almost every single year, you see a drop to the 20-week. Is it going to happen this year? I don't know. But if it does, it could happen at around 42K, 43K. So not really that much lower than the current prices. But if Bitcoin goes to 53K first or something like that, then rest assured everyone's going to be super fearful back at a 42 or 43K Bitcoin, because they will have then reacted to the newer prices, and they like Bitcoin being above 50K. They don't like this 42K, 43K nonsense. So I would say that's a distinct possibility. And honestly, this is not a bad possibility, because why? Why is it not bad? Well, my friends, if we hold it as support, then that's when good things happen, right? That's when good things happen, when we hold the 20-week as support. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for. And again, is it going to happen in September? Obviously, no one can tell you that with any, no one's going to be able to say, hey, it's going to happen, you should take it to the bank. I'm just simply pointing out that every September for the last 5 years, the price of Bitcoin has interacted with the 20-week SMA. 4 of those years, we were above the 20-week, we came back down to it. 1 of those years, we were below it, we came up to it. Out of the 4 years where we were above it, 3 out of the 4 times, we held it as support. Can we make it 4 out of 5? Or is our batting average going to drop to 60%? I don't know. We'll find out together. But this is what I would be looking for. And if we hold it as support in say, September, October, November, in the event that we come back down and test it, then that's where you buckle up. And again, you might want to put on your metaphorical laser eyes. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. I should also add, before we go, that if we don't have a continued rally above 40, 47K, 48K, and we come back down and start flirting with the 20-week now, then that test could come sooner, right? It could come a lot sooner than September. So do keep that in mind if the rally is somehow cut short. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely subscribe if you're not. Check out the sale on the premium list. You can find a link to that in the description below. I will see you guys next time. Bye.